do a quick part two just to give you guys some more information that I didn't get to go over in part one. Alright, so let's just get started. So what we're going to be going over is I'm going to do a recap, and then I'm going to give you guys some new information. Teach you guys about what are pips, leverage, margin, types of lot sizes, the types of currency pairs, okay? So today we have the US dollar versus the Japanese yen, right? So the US dollar, because it's first, what is it? The base currency, right? Japanese yen is the quote currency. Okay? Now, the base currency is always equal to 1, right? So what does that mean? 1 US dollar equals, so this is price right here, 159.3 in Japanese yen. So all this would mean is that if I was in the US and I traveled to Japan, my dollar would be equal to 159.3 in Japan. Now, if I was in Japan and I traveled to the US, 1593 Japanese yen would amount to $1 in the US. Okay? Now, you have types of currency pairs. You have majors. They include USD. You have minors. Do not include USD. Okay. So that would be US dollar versus the Canadian dollar, the Australian dollar versus the US dollar, Euro versus the US dollar, and as above, US dollar versus Japanese yen. All the major pairs because they include the US dollar. Now for minors, you can have the Australian dollar versus Japanese yen, the Great Britain pound versus, let's see, the Aussie dollar. You can have the Euro versus the Japanese yen, and also, what else? Let me see. Great Britain pound versus the Switzerland dollar. Alright, so these will be all minors because they do not include the US dollar. Okay, so remember, majors include the US dollar, minors do not include the US dollar. Okay, and then we have what are pips. Okay, so all pips are just how the market is measured. Right, so we're measuring inches and feet, right? So if I was 5'1" and I jumped to 5'11" next week, right? In human measurements, that would be 10 inches, but in Forex measurements, that would be 10 pips. Okay, so the price is, let's see, so price right now, right? So you have price at 159.355, 159.372, right? So 159.354, right? Say it jumped to 159.364, right? So notice how the first four numbers stay the same, right? So 54 to 64, that would just be 10 pips. Okay, pretty simple, easy. All right, now types of lot sizes. I'm trying to make this video quick. It's like my 20th try. You have nano, micro, mini, standard. Okay. So nano is going to be equal to 1 cent. Micro is going to be equal to 10 cents. Mini is going to be equal to $1. Standard is going to be equal to $10. Okay. So all this means is that 1 second. So 1 nano is 1 cent per pip. Okay. 1 micro is 10 cents per pip. 1 mini is $1 per pip. And 1 standard is $10 per pip. So in the example I gave about how it jumped to 10 pips, if I was using 1 standard lot, I would simply just do $10 times 10 pips. Right. So I would make $100. Same thing if I was using 1 mini lot. If I was using 1 mini lot and I would jump 10 pips, being that it's $1 per pip, I would just simply do $1 times 10, making it $10 that I made. Okay. Now, if I bump this up to 2, that would simply just become $20 per pip, $2 per pip, 20 cents per pip, $2 per pip. So being that, so say I made this a 2 standard, right? Making this $20 per pip, right? That 10 pip jump, now that I'm using the 2 standard, that becomes $20 per pip, right? Making that a profit of $200 now instead of $100. Alright. Okay. So other ways that this is written as is for 1 nano, it'll be 10,000. Alright. So these are other ways that this will be written as. Okay. It all means the same thing. Okay. At the end of the day, what matters is that you know the type of lot size that you're using and the value. Okay. So if this is a 3 standard, this will turn into $30 per pip. If this is a 3 mini, it will turn into $3 per pip. I mean, you could use these lot sizes. I won't recommend. You're not gonna make no money with those, but you get the gist. If it was 3, that would simply turn to 30 cent. Sorry, this would turn to 1 cent. All right, 1 cent per pip. And then all you would change is this 1. That would become 3, 3, 3, 3. This would become 300. This would become 3,000, 30,000, 300,000. All right. Now, what is leverage? Leverage is how you are able to play with more money than you have. Please take notes. And then margin. All margin is the required amount you need to be able to use the leverage. Okay. Or to open a trade. Okay. So these right here are the positions of the trade. Really, this is the leverage, okay? So, most of the time, your broker will offer you a 50-to-1 leverage. All a broker is just an online platform that allows you to trade these currencies. Okay, so being that if you want to trade the euro, the Australian dollar, and you're not in the country, the platform will simply connect you, so you're able to trade those currencies from anywhere in the world. So currently I'm in South Korea, but because I have a broker, which is an online platform, I can simply trade any currency I want to trade. All right. Now, usually the broker will offer you a 50-to-1 leverage. All right. Now, if you have a 2% margin, remember, margin is a required amount you need to be able to use the leverage or to open a trade, right? So, say you want to open a trade of 100 units of currency, right? And it's a 50-to-1 leverage. All this means is that for every $100 that you put into your account, you're able to control a 500 units, 5,000 units of currency. Okay. Now, if you were to put 1,000 units in your currency in your account, $1,000 in your account, that would simply be 50,000 units that you can play with. If you were to put 10,000, for every 10,000, you'll be able to control a 500,000 position. For every 100,000, you'll be able to control a 5 million position. All right. So all you'll do is 100 times 50, 1,000 times 50, 10,000 times 50, 100,000 times 50, depending on what standard lot you're using, right? But if it's a 2% margin, right, which is the required amount. So if I want to open 100,000 position, right, and it's a 2% margin, how much money do I need to be able to open this position? The required amount I would need is $2,000. Okay. Same thing for 10,000. If I want to open up a 10,000 position and it's a 2% margin, to open up that position, I would need $200 in my account. If I wanted to open up a 1,000, I would need $20 in my account, right? And if I wanted to open up a position of 100 units, being that it's a 2% margin, I would need $2 in my account. Okay. So that's it for this video. If you have any questions, just put it in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe and like.